The new Hellraiser Pinhead has been revealed, and Winnie the Pooh is jealous. Say it isn't so! Welcome to Mirror Domains Movie News, your place for entertainment headlines, and this is the Horror Weekly Roundup, where we're going to be talking about, some horror headlines that came up during the weekend. The Munsters got a release date. Tusk 2 has been announced. Halloween Ends. There's been some changes to the ending that we got to talk about. Scream 6 wraps. We got the new Hellraiser images here today, guys. So it's going to be a bit of a gruesome show in context of, we see the new Pinhead, and it's going to be fairly shocking. So, with that being said, let's just start off the show today by talking about the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey trailer that dropped this week. Winnie the Pooh slasher film gets a deranged, bloody trailer. And, guys, we're going to watch it here today because I don't care if it gets copyright claimed. I promised that we would. So, Blood and Honey. Now, we saw that they were going to make this horror movie about Winnie the Pooh, and I thought that for the longest time it was just going to be kind of like The Strangers, a couple of dudes that just wear the Pooh mask and the Piglet mask and just, try to attack some young teens. That's what I thought it was going to be, but apparently that's not so. And we'll take a look at the IMDb after this, so hopefully you guys will be on board for watching this trailer with me for Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey. Let's check it out. Oop.
First person I ever shown this place to.
And why am I so special?
Because soon we'll be Christopher and Mary Rob.
What the?
Should be close now.
Sorry.
We're not going to find them.
That's YouTube, not me.
Pooh, Piglet,
Okay, so hold on. What did you say?
Mary Rob. Should be close now.
So he's going to get married to that? Her? So it is Christopher Robin. We're seeing that there, right?
Pooh, Piglet, Eeyore. We were
Eeyore.
friends for many years, and they're out there.
100 Acre Wood? Okay. Because it's in the comments now, right? Anybody can make a Winnie the Pooh story now and use these characters.
Okay.
And that's a treehouse. So it is Christopher Robin. Ooh. And have turned wild. Yeah.
This is kind of cold. Did you say it has a pool?
So that Christopher Robin thing must have been like the opening scene of the movie.
We need to go.
Yeah, see, no, this is what I thought. It was like a home invasion, but it was going to be like Pooh and Piglet. And as I said, I think the actresses are actually trying. Well, that's creepy. That's really creepy. Ooh.
We used to be friends. Why are you doing this, please? I would have never left, I swear.
Huh. It's got some kind of underground layer there, too. Yeah. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Looks like they got some honey there. Okay, coming soon. All right. All the wood signs seem written in blood. That would have been a red flag. Yeah, was it written in blood? Okay, so I guess Christopher Robin and his fiancée come back home, and it does maybe look like, it says Eeyore there. Rest in peace. I'm thinking like this is the opening scene that's supposed to sell the movie, right? Christopher Robin comes back, he gets killed, and then those girls come later on, and that's the bulk of the movie. That's what I'm expecting. But they do call him Christopher Robin, so so it kind of suggests that it's not just two guys in masks, terrorizing like in like a home invasion story, but it's actually supposed to be Pooh and Piglet. Now I don't know about that, but it's got a lot of views and it's got the talk of the town for sure. Now, yes, it is that kind of cheesy, schlocky throwback to the 80s kind of horror movies, and I got no problem with that. And this is the fresh fodder for victims that are going to be there. So let's take a look at some of the comments here. Finally, a horror movie I could take my kids to. Okay, so some people are just having fun with it. 7K, ooh, a lot of people like that comment. This looks as ridiculous and funny as I'd hoped, and I still want to see it. What a nice movie for the kids. A movie that the whole family can enjoy. And you would be a moron as a parent if you thought that you could take your kids to this. Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, and I think they make it fairly obvious that it's going to be R-rated with the kills. But as I said, some of these actresses look like they're actually... Like, I've seen bad horror screams. I think we've all seen terrible horror screams in our time, because we're fans of horrors. But these actresses, like, for me, it looks like they're actually really, really trying. So apparently it was shot in like 10 days or something. So that's hey, you can shoot something in 10 days, and some people may say, well, that's terrible because it's 10 days. But you know what, if you got lots of rehearsal, you go through this like a stage play on like 2 times a day, you're going to get it nailed down. And these actresses, they know they know how to play that game. They know how to do that. So they can be prepped and ready to shoot this all in 10 days with like minimal production staff and stuff like that. Now, this was an interesting scene when they're in the water here, because I thought Pooh goes in the water, but then we see a shot later where it was Piglet that comes out and hammer somebody. But yeah, it was weird because there's like this underground layer that they're in. So it looks like it's going to be a brutal film. Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. It's going to be that cheekiness to it that I think a lot of people are going to like. And let's take a look at the IMDb. And there's the poster. All right. Do we got a release date yet? No official release date. It's in post-production. So I'm guessing sometime, ideally it would have been out next month in October. And it still could, because it seems like it's all in the can. If it's shot in 10 days, I mean, that means it's post-production time. It's not going to be like a year or anything like that, unless it's got time to get a distributor. But by the sounds of it, it looks like it's all come together. I don't recognize any of these these names. I don't see anything big here, so that's okay though. You take local talent, you make a small film like this. Winnie the Pooh. What do you guys think? Did it catch your attention, and did it make you go, "Hey, yeah, I want to check that out"? Because it did for me. It did. Because I thought it was just going to be like Birdemic quality. Birdemic. But it actually looks like it's got some okay questionable, or not questionable, it's got okay production values. All right. Now this is the big story too. Hellraiser, the new Hellraiser for Hulu is coming out, and we got our first images, our first real good look at the new Hell Priest, Pinhead. First look at Jamie Clayton as Pinhead, plus a brand new Cenobite. Now, Jamie Clayton, I'm not going to, well, yeah, I guess I will, because she's a transgender actress, and for me, that doesn't matter to me. But I guess to champion the cause of the LGBTQ people getting working, I guess I'll say that she is. But for me, she's an actress, and good for her. Anyway, Hulu, October 7th. And we got our first image here. So there she is, guys. And the neck, for me, it's the neck. I like the neck. We expected the pins on the head and stuff like that. But it's like there's something like stuck in right here. And the skin is all peeled there. Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. Yeah. So first thing you say, oh, well, it's a bit dark, James. You can't really see too much. So let me brighten that up a little bit for you guys. Turn up the, yeah, okay, so it's 2 things there. There's 2 things there on the neck. But, as I said many times, is that in the original short story, guys, the Hell Priest, Pinhead, was always described as androgynous with a female-like voice. So, as iconic as Doug Bradley was as Pinhead, it looks like they're trying to make this one look a little bit more realistic, or more like what the story, the original Clive Barker story, had depicted. And this image, it's haunting. And I know that there will be the haters out there that'll be like, oh, but that's not. So they made her a girl, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, don't worry about that, guys. Wait until we see the teaser. But as my first image, the first image, I think it looks great. Now I'm going to remove my banner here because it looks like there's more going on down here too, on her shoulders, or on the shoulders of the Hell Priest. So, oh, man, I think it's a bold image. It truly is a bold image. So, whoops. Yeah. October 7th. So here's what you need to know. Other than that, the Hell Priest was supposed to be that androgynous look anyway. They also released, it's going to be a new story in the Hellraiser universe. Okay, so this is not a remake. I just didn't think you could ever remake the original Hellraiser. So it's not a remake, guys. And I'll pull up the synopsis here in a little bit. Oh no, they got it right here. A young woman struggling with addiction comes into possession of an ancient puzzle box, unaware that its purpose is to summon the Cenobites, a group of sadistic supernatural beings from another dimension. So this is going to be just another story in the Hellraiser universe. It's not a reboot. It's not a remake. That makes me very curious and interested to figure out what's going on here. Now, there's another Cenobite, and that's really dark. That's just, yeah, you can't see what's going on here. A lot of these pictures are dark, and these are the only two. So we got the Hell Priest, and then we got this Cenobite, and I'm going to do something to try to brighten that up for you guys. That's what it is. It doesn't even, okay, so the head part, the head looks like it's not even a head. It's just kind of like a mask, a silhouette of a head. So it's kind of almost like a headless Cenobite. And the first thing that you would look at in this, I'm not going to keep that up because it's actually kind of gross and off-putting to look at. But when you look at it, where's the black? Where's the black robes and stuff, right? Because from that image, we're not seeing it. We're not seeing the black like robes and stuff. They're all kind of naked, which is well, not really naked. They're all cut up and stuff like that. And maybe that's what the Hell Priest is supposed to be like too. Is that maybe she won't have the black robes and stuff. I hope she does. I mean, I like that stuff. I like that aspect. And as long as she's got the chains that come down and stuff like that, that's what I want to see. The Hell Priest's neck looks like an open locket. Yeah, okay, a locket. Yeah, that could be. That could be. All right. So there are just a few more images of one of the actresses, Odessa Azion as Riley. I guess she's going to be the main character, perhaps. She's going to be the one that's the young woman struggling with addiction, comes into possession of the lament configuration. We got our first image of that too. There it is. That's the puzzle box, the lament configuration. And she opens it, I guess. So it's a new story within the Hellraiser universe, where a young woman struggling with addiction comes into a puzzle box. And yeah, cool. And I know that there's going to be the haters out there that'll be like, well, I don't know if I like them changing it around and stuff like that. But as I said, even Doug Bradley has come out and said that, well, he's addressed the new female Pinhead. And as we see here, yeah, he's got the black on, but maybe they won't be going for that look. I think it's going to be really horrific. So let's take a look at a quote here from Doug Bradley. It seemed like a female Pinhead was coming. It's an interesting piece of casting. I don't know, Jamie. Of course, they've taken a little bit of a wrinkle in that because Jamie is transgender. I'm not familiar with her recent work, but there was a science fiction series on Netflix several years ago called Sense8. Several years ago, which I was quite a fan of. Jamie was in that, and I really, really liked her performance in that. I really can't say more than that. I'd like to point out that I did wear a skirt as Pinhead. Yeah, okay. It's an interesting casting decision. Well, that only goes so far. We say female Pinhead like we know what that means, but there are a million shades of femininity. Where exactly are they going with that? Everything about Hellraiser has always been transgressive. Everything always from start to finish. It's not a new idea in that sense, but I'm intrigued. I'm in the same position as all the rest of you. I guess that's where that goes. And then he talks about being there at Monsterpalooza and stuff like that. So, yeah, he's kind of like on board with the rest of us. He's curious to see where this vision is going. I guess he is championing her work. So, yeah, cool. He's on board with it. I'd be on board with it. I'm kind of petrified to see what some of these comments are going to be in this story. So we'll take 219 comments in this. So let's tread these waters just a little lightly here, guys. Kind of wish they made Jamie Clayton a new Cenobite, exploring her taking Pinhead's spot as part of a franchise restart. Well, they still could. And then he goes on to say sacrilege? What? Naya was in hell happened all the time in the comics. I don't know what the heck you're talking about. Here's a higher contrast version of the photo. Yeah, well, hey, I gave you guys a higher contrast picture of the photo. Yeah, picture of the photo. No, I just gave you a higher. Okay, so probably just me, but it looks like those pins are digitally rendered in this particular screenshot. Digitally rendered. Do those pins look digital to you? No. No, I think that's practical. What I guess it's part of the skull cap. That's what I think it is. Digitally rendered. I don't know about that, but I think it's cool. Going to be a lot of sexy Pinhead costumes this Halloween. Yeah, so some of the BDSM crowd out there are digging it. Cool. Looks disgustingly promising. I hope it isn't bloody disappointed. Okay. Looks great, actually. Glad it's going to be a continuation and not a remake. It's not a remake, guys. Yes. Hoping the writing and acting is better than the others, though. Well, yeah. Well, towards the end of the Hellraiser franchise, what happened was that a lot of them were not Hellraiser movies to begin with. They just kind of shoehorned Pinhead in at the end of the story, and it was glaringly obvious. Yeah, so a lot of them were terrible. Wow, this looks great, man. I'm way more excited now. Never seen Hellraiser Revelations, but Clayton looks a lot better than the actor who played Pinhead in Revelations. She doesn't look too bad, but I'm used to Bradley's Pinhead. Yeah, and as long as you give it a chance, that's what you need to do, guys. Just give it a chance, and that's what I always say. Like, even with things that are kind of like, yeah, some people will be outraged that it's not Doug Bradley coming back, but I mean, he's too old to play it now anyway, and this is taking it in a new direction, and hey, if it comes out October 7th, guys, I'm expecting probably a full trailer here within the next week, so hopefully next Saturday on the Horror Roundup, we'll be talking about the actual trailer for this. And then we'll find out if they're actually going to go for that full nudie look, because the rating for it, what is it? Strong, bloody violence and gore, language throughout, some sexual content and graphic nudity. But we saw from that one other Cenobite, all of the private parts were kind of indistinguishable, right? So it's kind of like, oh, maybe they won't have the black robes on in this one. That's what I'm digging. That's what I'm thinking, not digging, thinking. Yeah. Anyway, the IMDb doesn't say too much more than that. It gives you some of the cast: Goran V, Brandon Flynn, Hayam Abbas, and Odessa Azion is going to be playing the lead in this, I guess. What else? She been in? Pooh's the inhabitant. Good Girl Jane, Am I Okay? So nothing that jumps out at me that I'm familiar with her work. Some TV stuff. Nashville. Okay. All right, guys. Well, that's the new look at the new Hellraiser Pinhead. What do you guys think about those images? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. All right, let's continue on by talking about Scream. Scream 6 has wrapped filming. And, okay, well, we know that it's coming out March next year, right? So they finally finished in Montreal. And the studio took to their, well, it looks like it's their Instagram, posted this picture of the crew. Okay, well, there's no point in blowing it up because I don't think that any of the actors are there. It mostly looks like that's a big crew. See, do you really need all these people to make a like what are you going to get out of this? You're going to get a few shots of the interior. Somebody walking down the subway, stabbing somebody. And do you really need all of these people to do it? Yeah, I don't. Well, anyway, I'm not going to digress on a rant about production costs. Anyway, it's done. It's all in the can, so that's good. Unfortunately, it doesn't sound like their move to New York will not fare too well for them. Yeah, well, we heard that Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega, and two other people are from the Scream 5 are going to be going to New York, and then there's going to be a new sinister ghost face that's going to be even more brutal than any of the others. More brutal. Wow. That's going to be hard to top. Yeah. So, March 31st, 2023 is when Scream 6 hits the theaters. I'll be looking forward to that because I really enjoyed Scream 5, and it's going to be the same directors, most of the same cast. The only legacy cast is coming back is Courtney Cox, and Hayden Panettiere is coming back as Kirby, and that's something that I want to check out. Scream 5. Yeah, I need to watch it again now. Maybe we need to do a full live watch along of that film this year sometime. We'll have to see. All right. Yeah, I want to see Scream 6. So they filmed it on some kind of subway scene. Final shots were shot in Montreal, it looks like. So that's cool. All right. Where are we at? Tusk 2. Tusk 2. Did you, oh wait, no, Halloween Ends. Sorry. Halloween Ends. Let's talk about Halloween Ends. That comes out just next month, guys. Halloween Ends director is still changing the movie's ending daily. Is that good? Is that a good thing that you're changing the ending daily? No, it's not as grandiose as you guys think. When you hear something like this, it makes you go, ooh, why are you changing the ending so much? But it's not as grand as you think. They're not rewriting it and reshooting it. They're not like that. But everything that they would be changing would be from footage they have in the can and stuff like that. So he's got a quote here from Empire Magazine. The director does. So let's take a look at this. It says, "It changes every day. In theory, the picture is locked. But this morning I called the editor and said, what if we do this one thing? I speak with John Carpenter and Jamie Lee Curtis regularly about it. It's exciting, it's uncertain, satisfying, and sad. Sad. I've enjoyed the ride, but it's probably time to get off. I think we're going to go out with a bang." Sad. Now, somebody brought it to my attention during the week that when he says sad meaning that he's got to put it down. He can't change it anymore. So from this quote, it sounds like it's minor tweaks here and there. Nothing too major. But the release date, guys, it's just next month. And, yeah. See, when he said sad, I originally read that Laurie and Michael were going to kill each other at the end, and then, like, both give killing blows to each other, and they both were going to die. And I still think it possibly could go like that, but it's supposed to be like a coming of age story too, so I don't know how the heck that's going to be going. Announced that Halloween Ends will be streaming on Peacock at the same time it arrives in theaters. So next month, guys. So we'll be able to do. Oh no, I don't have Peacock. Okay, so it's changing. We'll have to see next month, guys. Halloween Ends. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below, and we will talk about it. The forever changing ending for Halloween Ends. So Halloween Ends is releasing October 14th. So just over a month. They're still tweaking it. That's okay. Let's take some live comments here. Romar Glass Viking says, as kids, we would have snuck into the theaters to watch this unwittingly. Are you talking about Winnie the Pooh? Yeah, the piece in the Hell Priest's locket. Yeah, neck looks like a locket. We saw that one. Vegan Hell Priest, no black leather. Maybe. Yeah, it's just shocking. It takes a village of extras and crew to raise a ghost face. Well, yeah, there's a lot there. All right, guys, so if you don't know what we do here on the channel, we do it 12 p.m. Eastern on Saturdays. We do the Horror Weekly Roundup. And throughout the week, we do some other full live watch-alongs for, like, She-Hulk on Mondays. 1:30 p.m. is when these things drop, guys. 1:30 p.m. on Thursdays. Sorry, Thursdays. We're doing She-Hulk. 1:30 p.m. Thursday. She-Hulk. And then on Mondays when we're doing House of the Dragons, 1:30 p.m. And what a brilliant show. Like, the first 2 episodes are just so awesome. I encourage you to go and check these out. Yesterday we did the first 2 episodes of The Rings of Power, and I know that it's been slightly review bombed, but I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, so I say give it a chance. Give it a chance, guys. That's when I said about the Hellraiser thing. Give it a chance. And of course, you know that we do the Horror Weekly Roundup here on the weekends here, and yeah, that was today's slate. All right, so that's what you're gonna find here, guys. I'm sure you're gonna find something that you like here too on all the social media handles there. Sometimes I post a little behind the scenes stuff, and during the week we do the post show on Facebook just after the show, Facebook Live. So I always try to make it interactive. You guys can always come in and talk with me, and yeah, we'll talk about some horror stuff. So let's continue on with the show today and talk about some of these other horror movie news headlines. And this one was bizarre too, for me. Tusk 2. Kevin Smith working on Tusk 2 reveals by Justin Long. Now this is kind of spoilers, but if you didn't know the first Tusk movie, I'm sorry that I spoiled it to you. There's this guy that kidnaps Justin Long who comes to interview him. He drugs him, and then he slowly mutilates him to the point that he transforms him into a walrus. I know, it's weird, man. It's bizarre, but it's definitely the most bizarre Kevin Smith movie ever made. But a Tusk 2, I don't, like, where would this go? We know that he gets transformed at the end, and he lives a very sad existence. So let's take a quote here from Justin Long as he spoke with Slash Film. You'll be happy to hear Kevin Smith just announced. I guess they're talking about it. They're doing Tusk 2, I think. He texted us all the other day, Haley, Joe Osmond, and Genesis Rodriguez, and told us that we wanted to do it. Told us he wanted to do it. So it's Kevin Smith wanted to do it. And I thought it was a joke. Then I realized he was being serious. Then one of the other interviewers said, yeah, he said the same to me. But where would it go? Yeah, this is the old guy that kidnapped him. And I already said my piece about the prosthetics and stuff like that. Yeah. Where would it go? Kevin Smith said this back in 2020, saying, the great Michael Parks, yeah, so he passed away. The actor here, he had passed away. So it would be hard to know where they would go then after that, because I'm sure as a human being you can't survive that long like this. But in the ending of Tusk, I wanted to be a commercial filmmaker, which apparently I've never wanted to be. I would have ended up the film when De La Pont comes in and raises his shotgun and you just hear the walrus scream. Yeah, because somebody would put it down. As a human, they can't well, maybe you could reconstruct them as a human being, but you'd be really... Anyway, what would it be about? I guess there's a version of Tusk 2 where you just cut to the present and somebody else gets stuck into a spider's web. So somebody else would have to take up his mantle or you just recast, right? So somebody else comes in and gets transformed into some horrible creature. The house, you hear stories, and when you come to the house, the new Howard Howe is Wallace. Okay. What the heck? Who has gone out of the Wallace trappings and stuff, and is obviously disturbed by his whole ordeal, and now is doing it to others. So there's a way to do Tusk 2 where Dustin becomes Michael Park's character. So yeah, that's possible. Tusk 2 is possible. So he would come out of, like, how would he do this? We saw him, he had flippers. Or is this just a bodysuit? He's like, his face is, he's like in a costume. So maybe that's why the costume looks so bad. But it's like his face is sewed into the costume, and he's actually still got his arms and legs and stuff and everything inside of this. Maybe that's it. And then he breaks free of it, comes out and starts doing it to somebody else. That's how you could do Tusk 2 the mate. He finds oh god, yeah, I don't even want to think about that. That's just Tusk 2, guys. Yeah, as I said, it's gonna be a rather gruesome show today. Let's try to lighten it up a little bit and talk about Bring It On as a horror movie. Really, Bring It On. Can that possibly be Bring It On? First look at Bring It On, first horror movie. Bring It On cheerleading franchise. It was like a dance movie. It was like cheerleading. It was supposed to be like fun, teeny boppers. I never thought they would make a horror movie out of it. What's this called now? For Sci-Fi, Bring It On, Cheer or Die have been released. Okay. The 7th installment in the long-running franchise will be a horror slasher in the vein of Halloween. Well, that's bold. You know, to make it a slasher movie. So we got some first images here to take a look at. Let's just read this quote here that MovieWeb first announced when they made this project. We're waving our pom-poms in the air for Bring It On Halloween, an original movie premiering in 2022, held down by restrictive rules. And embattled cheerleading squad seeks the freedom of a creepy closed school gym to practice the regionals, but when members of the squad start to disappear, the cheerleaders must unmask their assailant to save themselves. Well, sounds like the normal formula. You know, some kids break into an old school. Oh, got some more pictures here. And then some of them get killed. Is that like a paper cutter? Okay. She looks upset about something. Okay, yeah, so these are the girls that are going to be the fodder. Looks like they got a bus here from is that Will Wheaton? I don't, sort of, maybe. We'll take a look at the cast list here. So, okay, so there they are. They're cheerleading and stuff. Yeah, they break into an old school. Things start going awry, and they get killed. As long as it's not as bad as the gallows, I'll be on board with that. Bring It On. Cheer or Die. Cheer or Die. I just can't believe that this thing was made. Missy Pyle, Alexandra Beaton. None of these names jump out at me. Let's see if that was... Who was playing that bus driver here? I doubt it was Will Wheaton. I doubt. Okay, so I don't see it there. You'd think he would be posted here if it was. It's just a nobody. But Cheer or Die. Fascinating. Yeah. Who would have thought that would have happened? Because the first one was the first one. Yeah, it was Eliza Dushku and Kirsten Dunst, and they had the jazz hands, right? So will this have the jazz? Ooh! If they bring back the jazz hands guy and they kill him off in like some cheesy fashion, that's what I want to see from a Bring It On horror movie. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comments below, and we'll talk about it. All right. Salem's Lot. This was really early in the week. Salem's Lot was removed from the Warner Bros. Release schedule. This movie was delayed to next year. And then now it's been quietly removed from the slate. And why is that, man? Well, bummer. I was kind of looking forward to it. You know, they re-released the book with a teaser image from the movie. Oh, bummer. Well, why did this happen then? What do you need to know? What's going on here? Salem's Lot is one of the few big WBD movies now without a release date. This remake, I wanted to see it so bad because I was hearing good things, but I guess it's not. Yeah, you heard that some of the executives were not happy. Now that is under the Warner Bros. Headline. That means David Zaslav, who's been acting a lot of the superhero stuff on TV. He was the one that was responsible for getting rid of Batgirl. He said that CEO David Zaslav has made it clear that much of the focus is on making cinematic movies and not concentrating on streaming exclusives. So streaming exclusives. But I thought Salem's Lot was supposed to be in the theaters too. It wasn't supposed to be in a streaming movie. But maybe that's why it got pulled, and that's why it did, because it was. But I thought it was going to be in theaters. Bummer. So it was pushed to April 21, 2022. So this is just another one that's going to get swept underneath the rug, and that bums me out quite a bit, guys. Salem's Lot getting removed from the Warner Bros. Discovery release slate. Why, though? You can just release it. Put it on YouTube, then. I'll watch it, and I'll do a review. I'll try to, man, bummer. What a bummer. Something that isn't getting put aside and axed is Munsters, and we got the official release date. We knew that it was going to be sometime September, October-ish, because it said later, and it's going to be on Netflix. So we got the actual concrete release date for the Munsters, and that is going to be September. Oop, why do I got an ad running? September 27th. So guys, that's just at the end of the month here. So we're literally 24 days away from the Munsters. And we will be doing a full live watch along for this on the Horror Weekly Roundup for sure. Wait, what day is the 27th? Let me just open up my calendar here. 27th is a Tuesday. Okay, so we can't wait. We can't wait 5 days to do a reaction to it. So we'll do it on a Tuesday. We'll be watching it on the day that it drops. Full live watch along of the Munsters, September 27th, Tuesday. September 27th. I'm still just kind of like, no, I don't know about this one. I don't know. Because the trailers didn't really wow me, but I'll be looking forward to it anyway. For sure. Bring It On had the vibes of Happy Death Day. It would be fun. Well, yeah, if they make Bring It On kind of like that Happy Death Day feel, I think... Exactly, Art Glass Viking says in live chat. Has Salem Lot been filmed already? If so, what a waste. Yeah, it's all in the can, apparently. It's all done. Salem's Lot was finished. And it's just one of those things. It's because of their new direction that they want to take the studios. I don't get it. It's not up to their quality and their standards, from what I'm understanding. So it's kind of like, you already sunk some money into it. What's the harm in releasing it? Stop working on it. Don't have anybody else work on it. Release it as is. Release it as is. Because it doesn't cost you to put it up on the streaming site, does it? Does it? Does it really? We'll have to see how that goes. It's just a bummer. All right. The Midnight Club. The Midnight Club is coming to Netflix too, and it's from Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan's new Netflix show addresses a midnight mass complaint. Midnight Mass? Well, you know what? If you don't know who Mike Flanagan is, he's done things like The Haunting of Hill House, Haunting of Bly Manor. He directed Dr. Sleep. He did Midnight Mass, and he's working on The Fall of the House of Usher right now. But he's producing this show called The Midnight Club, where it's about a bunch of teens that are on their last days in a hospice, which just means they're on their last few days of being alive. But they get together at midnight to share ghost stories with each other. So it's going to be like an anthology, I would imagine, which sounds cool. But what's this major complaint from Midnight Mass? Well, I guess the complaint about Midnight Mass was that it was going to be Midnight Mass. I enjoyed, but there was too many long-winded speeches. There were too many long monologues. So what is this quote here that we got from the producer there from Flanagan? One of the big things we assumed was that the younger viewers could handle scares. Yes, they can. I wouldn't subject a viewer to the Midnight Club to an 8-minute monologue. Yeah, because Midnight Mass, if you don't know, the first couple were okay. And the boat monologue, there's a scene where there's two people are out on a small boat, and that monologue is warranted. But towards the end of the series, the whole town is on fire, people are dying, and the one guy is just kind of like, what does it all mean? Let me reflect. And he sits down on these steps, and he just goes on, and you're like, that town's on fire, man. What are you doing? We don't have time for this. And it got a little too it was too much. It was too much. But it did have times where it was warranted. Midnight Mass. I know a lot of people still liked it, so. But Midnight Club is not going to have that problem. So don't worry about that with Midnight Club. It's going to have, hopefully, a tighter script, which is good for me. All right. Yellowjackets. Season 2 started production. So that's good for a lot of people who enjoyed the first season. Now, I only saw the first episode because that's all they gave us for free. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. You know, a bunch of these girls who their school name was Yellowjackets crash in the mountains, and if you've ever seen the movie, or no, okay, it was kind of like Lord of the Flies mixed with Alive. You know, that plane that crashed up in the mountains, and they were forced to do things to survive. That's the vibe that I got from Yellowjackets. Christina Ricci, so that's good. A lot of people liked the first season, and now that season 2 is officially underway, kudos for them. And I'll get around to finish watching the full first season. I hear good things. I hear good things about the acting mostly. Yeah, I think we're just excited to keep playing in this world. There are a lot of opportunities where we're going, and we've been planning to go get darker and weirder. We'll likely get a lot more both of those things, but hopefully we can keep it fun. Yellowjackets. Maybe, I don't think it would be schlocky fun like what Bring It On, that horror movie, or like Winnie the Pooh. Maybe it could be like Winnie the Pooh. Who knows? I don't know. Anyway, there's a few more stories, guys, here that are not listed here, but will be listed below. We got a trailer to look at, too, and I should have said various. Yeah, anyway, let's take a look at this. Horror game The Mortuary Assistant is getting a film adaptation. Now, have you ever played The Mortuary Assistant? I haven't. But man, that image looks creepy. Apparently it's going to get a film adaptation. The film will be written and directed by Jeremiah Kipp, whose other credits include Slap Face, Draw Up, and Stare. Okay, I don't recognize any of those names. Blackwave. Blackwave sounds vaguely familiar. Okay. The incredible reception to The Mortuary Assistant was cemented it as one of Dread XP's most successful games to date. So it's a horror game. You got like a log line here for me? Having completed your degree in mortuary sciences, you have taken an apprenticeship at Riverfields Mortuary. Over the past several months, you've logged many hours aiding the mortician in daily tasks along learning the ins and outs of the embalming process, as well as how to properly handle and care for the deceased. Late one night, you were called into work to handle some embalmings. Death doesn't keep daytime hours. But there is something different about these bodies, because there's something different about you. The phone rings, and the mortician on the other end says the rumors are true. You cannot leave. So I'm guessing that's something, it's either ghosts or they turn into zombies and they come at you. Well, it sounds scary. Well, we've had scary movies in mortuaries before. What was that? The Autopsy of Jane Doe? Yeah, that one was pretty scary. Yeah, I can see something like this working. The Mortuary Assistant. What do you guys think about that? Alright, we're rounding up here pretty soon here, guys. I think we are. Trick or Treat is coming back it's going to come into the theaters for the first time. First time. Did you like the Trick or Treat movie back in 2007? I know that there's like a huge fan base for this in the horror community, that they really liked it. It was a little bit overhyped for me, actually. People were overhyped it, saying it's one of the best horror movies ever made. So I was expecting something like Nightmare on Elm Street, The Shining, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, top tier, and it's not. But people like it, so yeah, Trick or Treat, if you liked it and you want to go see it in the theaters this Halloween, guys, you'll be able to go check it out October 6th. So go grab your tickets. Get in the Halloween spirit. Now, I was going to do the Joblo rundown here, but they just went over pretty much everything that we talked about today already. Helpin is fully supportive. Yeah, we knew that. Rebel Moon. That's more sci-fi. That's not really horror. The Mortician in Candyman was a cool character. The Mortician in Candyman. Scream 6 has finished filming. Yeah, we know that. Friday Night Lights. Oh, okay. You know what? We're going to end it off with a fun little thing here, guys. We are going to... Oh, yeah. And there's been a lot of new Pearl images and small little snippets of her dancing and stuff. Really creepy. But I didn't want to watch it on here in case some people haven't watched X yet, because it does give some spoilers in some of those clips. Yeah, and there was this, but we talked about that a couple of weeks ago, that there's a new film going forward, and we talked about all the rights and stuff like that a couple of weeks ago. So if maybe next week, if anything more comes along, we'll talk about the Friday the 13th again. Don't look at the Demon trailer. Fiona Dourif. Is that Brad Dourif's daughter? Supernatural horror film gets October release. Mortuary Assistant, Hellraiser. Okay, so that's all. Let's take a look at what this trailer is. This trailer, Fiona Dourif. Supernatural horror film gets an October release. The synopsis is led by a troubled medium, Jules. An American team of paranormal TV investigators go to the home of a couple who claim to have experienced inexplicable, threatening disturbances. Delving into the mystery, they encounter possessions and apparitions more terrifying than they'd witnessed before. An actual contact with the other side. As cameras roll and bodies are possessed, they inevitably overwhelmed in this violent supernatural force. Their only hope is Jules. Hey, I'll check this out. Look at the demon. Fiona Dourif. Cool. Oh. Damn you. Well, you gotta wait for these damn spoilers. Trailers. All right.
Better living from
What?
better sleep. Click the link.
Ah, damn you. I just said skip the ads. All right, so we got to wait for the ads on this, guys. Don't worry. It's going to be done in 3, 2, 1. All right.
We moved in here around 6 months ago. Some pretty weird stuff started happening.
Well,
We heard the skeleton crew was coming over to Asia, and we desperately need your help.
I like this concept.
My wife and I were big fans of your show.
That's what I liked about
I used to
Insidious.
see them, talk to them.
We used to think that we made out.
So, a little lower budget.
Sometimes we want these things to be
Huh?
real. What is that? What? That noise?
What happened down there?
Whatever it is, it's haunting that house. Touched me. It's trying to make contact.
Got them wired to every corner of the house. If something turns up, we'll get it on tape.
Token butt shot.
Go, go, go. To the right.
Ooh.
We've done haunted houses before, possessions, exorcisms, you name it. This is the first time in the history of the show that we've ever come close to actually proving the existence of the paranormal.
Ooh.
Man?
Oh. You scared the hell out of me, man. You okay?
Ugh. No matter.
It's a man in my dream!
Okay. What happens? Don't look.
Remember last night? We had so much.
Don't look at the demon. Okay, so that's October 7th. In theaters. Huh. Looks good. Fiona Dourif, like her dad, is a good actress. Yeah, I want to take a look more at her. Brad Dourif is like, can you see a little bit of him in her? Like his face, the face structure is a little bit the same, right? Cool. Fiona Dourif. Going to be weird seeing Fiona Dourif in a role where she's standing. What she play? I don't know what else she's in. So well, maybe we can take a look at what her credits are. Let's take a look at her IMDb, James. Come on, dude. We don't need just to look at pictures of her face. Unsinkable, On Fire. So she's got 51 credits, so she's been working. She's been working. She was in the Chucky TV series. I need to watch that series because season 2 is just around the corner. They're finished that filming now. Utopia. She was in Tenet? I just rewatched Tenet. Huh. Cult of Chucky. She was in that too. Cool. Yeah, wow. She's been on. Looks like she's been working for a while, more than a decade, since 2005. She's been in stuff. So she started young then. She started really young. How old is she? 1981. So no, she's in her 30s now. No, 91. 41. She's 41. No. Seriously? 40. She's 40? Okay. But I thought that was interesting, guys. What do you think about that? I like that there at the end. That was kind of a nice little teaser, or a nice little trailer for us to round out with. I think that's pretty much all we had on the docket for today, guys. Don't look at the demon. I was totally drawn in there. Yeah. I like the possession stuff, and I like the angle of using psychics and trying to capture them on film and stuff like that. That's what I liked about Insidious, too. So, interesting take. Don't look up. Next month, guys. All right, that's pretty much the way that it's been in the realm of horror movie news this week, guys. If I missed something or if you want to talk about it, let me know in the comments below. And join us next week for more horror movie news. Hopefully, we will be watching that Hellraiser, or at least talking about that Hellraiser trailer any week now. I'm sure it's coming along. It has to be. And Winnie the Pooh there was a lot of fun. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me on the Horror Weekly Roundup. And I'll see you during the week if you like normal movie news stuff. And enjoy the long weekend here, guys. Enjoy the long weekend. Go out and have some fun. And I'll see you next time on Mirror Domains.